Hi everybody, so welcome back to my YouTube channel, and it has been a really long time since I uploaded my latest video, but I hope in today's video you will find it helpful. Many students have requested this video on teacher, how can I write the SPM book review? And in today's video, I will be giving everybody like a very short tutorial on how you can write the perfect SPM review about a particular book that you really like. So before we get started, I just want everybody to know that, what are the most important aspects of writing a book review? Number one, you must be very clear of the name and the title of the book. Maybe it is like a particular name. You must be very sure of the name of the book. And the second one that could really help to improve your marks is by writing the writer of the book. Like, for example, this book was published in 2022 and it is written by the author's name. Including the name really shows that you have written this book, and it's also a very important source of information. So the name, the writer's name, and as you are writing your first paragraph, after doing a certain introduction, in your body paragraph, it is very important to do like a simple summary on what is the book about. What is this book about? Write like a very brief and short summary. And definitely, last but not least, in your final paragraph, it is very important to include your personal thoughts and opinion of this book. Would you recommend it or not to other people? And that is how you have to write like an entire book review. These are the simple little guidelines when it comes to preparing for a book review. All right. So now the million-dollar question that everybody has to answer is, what is your favorite book? Maybe you love reading. You read books like, novels like Geronimo Stilton. Or maybe you prefer real life stories. You prefer books that are non-fiction. Maybe it's Anne Frank. And last but not least, maybe you prefer books that are fiction. So I would say that all words in one, there are a wide variety of books out there. You have to really find out what is like your best suited kind of book. So when you have a fixed answer in you, you are able to write any kind of book reviews you want to. I will give everybody like a few very common types of books. Usually for people or teenagers, we read books like romance, about love stories, or maybe like, I know there's this famous book called Mr. Midnight, if I'm not mistaken. It is a book about mystery, about horror. Or maybe just now the second book that I've shown you just now, that is an autobiography. So it is based on real life facts. Or maybe a book about Elon Musk. This is considered an autobiography. And last but not least, maybe most of you prefer fiction books. So everybody has their own cup of tea when it comes to books. So just find one that really works for you. All right. So after knowing the guidelines and after knowing the types of books, right now we can begin our essay. So teacher, what book have you prepared for us today? Well, I prepared a world-renowned, extremely famous book. I think everyone should read it because it's a non-fiction book and it really tells you like the reality of life and teaches you about history. And this book is actually by Anne Frank. If you have seen or read this book before, you can let me know in the comment section down below. But if you have never read it before, it's okay. Now it's your golden opportunity to go and read it. Usually for the first paragraph, what can we really write about? Usually for the first paragraph, we can write about like a simple introduction of the entire book. Like for example, nowadays we are living in the 21st century. Everyone is holding their mobile devices. Everybody is looking at their iPad, at their tablets. Everybody is watching Netflix, watching a movie on their laptops. Nobody really actually likes to read a book anymore. So what's your favorite book? Allow this question to ramble in your mind while I share mine. So it's a very simple introduction, asking back the audience, what is your favorite book? When you're thinking about this question, allow me to share mine. But before I tell you, we can do like a very simple introduction. In our 21st or maybe current generation, technology has already replaced books. However, a book versus like a laptop, sometimes people prefer to read a book because whenever you get to hold a book, the feeling, the smell, when you're reading, that entire process is just so invigorating. And sometimes, no matter how advanced technology can get, technology just can't really replace books sometimes. That's why it is written here. However, the ability to express through writing isn't entirely replaceable by any sources. And this is our very first paragraph. So if you're new to my channel, feel free to learn how to start your essay, no matter if it's a story, a review. Of course, if you want to do more revision, you can refer back to my previous videos or maybe the notes I often post on social media, which I hope that it is of great help to you. All right. And okay, after our first paragraph, we have already finished our introduction. The one thing that usually bugs most students is, teacher, when I'm writing my review essay, should I use present tense or should I use past tense? Well, if you are writing about a book review, the story has passed, the story has happened. Definitely when you're talking about a story, about a summary, you can use past tense. But when you're giving recommendations or some sort, you can use present tense, okay? So for the Anne Frank book, as y'all can see, there are many like empty lines. Teacher, why are there so many empty lines? The empty lines are for you to fill up the accurate grammar. So hopefully by watching this video, you are able to enhance your book review. At the same time, you're able to enhance your grammar as well. So our number one answer, what is the name of our book? The name of the book is The Diary of Anne Frank. It is written by herself, Anne Frank. She originally wrote the story in Dutch language, and later this book shot to popularity. This is one of the most useful phrases of all time, when something just suddenly like they just become popular instantly, like the next day when you wake up, wow, it's so popular already. And this one is what we call to shot to popularity, like it became famous very suddenly. So because this book was so famous, we are doing a summary right now. It has been translated into more than 60 languages. So why do you like this book? Number one, it is famous. It has more than 60 languages. Secondly, what is the summary of this particular book? Like, why do you recommend it and why do you like it so much? So after the 60 languages worldwide, as y'all can see here, we are doing like a program Nilam. We are doing a very brief summary of what is this book about. Well, it was about this girl, everything happened when she was in the Nazi occupation of the Netherlands during the World War II. So, okay, I have a brief summary already. But why is it called The Diary of Anne Frank? Because during her birthday, and she got this diary as a birthday gift when she was only Form 1, and because she was in the World War II, she had no social media. She could merely express everything, her life, her feeling, her highlights, her lowlights. She could only express everything via writing. That's why it's called The Diary of Anne Frank. So here we are just giving like a very simple summary. And during those difficult times, okay, you could just go dive a little bit deeper on what did she write about. Maybe she wrote about the events that happened, the people, and every single thing that has happened. So for the end of the summary, if you read the book, sorry, spoiler alert, at the very end, this very brilliant little young mind, she did die after she was being betrayed by the Nazis. And after her death, how did people manage to find this book and manage to publish her diary? After her father realized that people wanted to publish it, the father gave permission because they wanted everybody to know about the history during those times. So for the paragraph 2, we will just be writing about the summary of this book, telling us why we really like it. So number 1, it's popular. Number 2, it teaches you about sejarah, about history, and how did this little girl gone through every single setback. So these are the reasons why we recommend this book. But for the second paragraph, we are just merely talking about the reasons. So Our third paragraph is very important. We must write about the conclusion. And by the way, everybody, if you are wondering, teacher, what are the answers to this grammar? Teacher will be posting this particular essay on social media. I will put it in the link in the description box below. So if you finish this entire essay, you want to mark your grammar, you can refer to the social media posts, okay? And please do follow teacher for more content and like and subscribe to this channel, because I hope you're able to, absorb new knowledges by watching this video, all right? And paragraph 3 is our very own conclusion. For the conclusion wise, teacher has given a longer answer to help everybody to express even more better. So in conclusion, in my perspective, would I recommend this book to students or Malaysians from all walks of life? Would I recommend it to every Tom, Dick, and Harry? Well, the answer is, as for my feedback and opinion of this book, every written word was articulated brilliantly, meaning the way she has written her diary, she expressed everything perfectly and brilliantly. She was a genius. She was a really young, smart, intelligent soul. So as a conclusion, the people suffering during the war and her perspective, her perception of life was so competent that it touched my heart. So as a personal opinion, as a personal thought, what did I think about this book? Number one, it moved me. It touched my heart. So from here, you can learn some useful phrases about, describing a book. I could not leave the book until I finished it. So meaning you read it one shot. So suffice to say that it is a page turner. So as y'all can see, when we're talking about the current situation, we are using present tense. But just now, when we're talking about the story, about the summary of the book, we are using past tense because it has passed already. Suffice to say that it is a page turner, meaning you kept on flip, because it was overly interesting. It was utterly interesting. It was utterly enrapturing. Hence, you keep flipping. Every page you flip would leave you wanting more. The more you read, the more you want to know. Hence, in my perspective, in my opinion, I would suggest everybody to read this book. Actually, once you are written until here, your answers, your essay is more than perfect already. But I really wanted everybody to look at the final quote from this book. So next time when you're writing a book review, you could also use the word thought-provoking. Teacher, what is thought-provoking? Thought-provoking is like when you read this sentence, like for example, I actually just finished my latest shift of class and I immediately filmed this video for you guys. So I really hope you guys will appreciate it. And I told my previous students that, it is very important to do planning, because today, when you fail to plan, you plan to fail. When you fail to plan, you plan to fail. It is a thought that really makes you think. It's really true. Today, when you want to lose weight, you want to improve your English, you want to do something, you got to do your planning, because when you don't plan, you will definitely fail. So one of the thought-provoking quotes from this masterpiece, this particular book is, you can read it yourself and you tell me what do you think, okay? But everyone, in the real exam, if you're not able to write this thought-provoking thing, it is okay. You can use it as a simple sentence to construct, okay? So in conclusion, today's video is wrapped up right until here. I hope you have gained an inkling, a knowledge on how to write a book review by following the simple guidelines. Secondly, understanding what is your favorite book. Is it fiction, non-fiction, romance, or history? And most importantly, find a book that suits you really well. And this is the end of my video. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.